Is January 22nd, 2023. Adding to the statement that I'm getting ready to upload. That Friday where I met that guy for dinner, I told you the first time I met him, he asked me questions about what happened to me for 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours with my ex-husband and his girlfriend. Why does he want to know? Okay. And then this last time was 2.5, and to the point I was stuttering the time I left. And then kind of sort of like act like just because they got all that information out of you. I cried on the way home. I cried when I got home. I cried the next morning. I don't think it's funny. But one comment he made, he said, I bet your husband already had a young girlfriend before you guys even moved up there. And I bet they had all this planned. And you didn't realize. He said he probably did want to kill you so that he would have to pay you alimony. And I showed him a picture of Katie. And it's a mean girl thing. It really is. But she's like 350 pounds and she looks like a man in a dress. She does. And she doesn't do anything with herself. Okay. But she owns a dairy farm and she owns horses too. Cows and horses. Okay. And I showed him a picture. He's like, why would you want that? There's nothing to want. And I told him what else. He said, I don't care. There's still nothing to want. And he said, I bet he wanted it. He said, you know what I think? He said, I think that young girl, I bet he had a young girlfriend before that. Before he moved up there. They came up with this big plan to get rid of you so he wouldn't have to pay alimony. Where were you having your attempts? He said, and him act like he likes that Katie. She was going to be next. Marry her and do her off so I get the farm. And I showed him a picture of Kathy afterwards. He's like, that's even worse. Or just as bad. He said she had been next too. They were just going to go on a killing spree. And I got to thinking, right before it started, we went to a restaurant we hadn't been before. This young girl walks by, blonde, gives me the death look. And Dave. I looked at Dave and I'm like, you know her? He's like, I don't know. She sits down, does he think it's funny bringing her here? I'm like, Dave, you know her? He's like, no. She rams into the back of my booth. I'm like, what on earth? And they're talking like they know Dave too. Okay. And I'm like, Dave, what on earth? And he's like, Karen, they're just nuts. And you could hear him talk about him. I ended up moving over beside him because she kept ramming the back of my booth with her body. Being an idiot in a restaurant. And I got to thinking, okay, I had puppies, Lincoln and Lily, okay? And they're little cotton terriers, 7 and 8 pounds. Babies that you can hold right here and they cuddle right here because they're little 7-pound baby puppies, okay? Put sweaters on them, winter coats, dresses on Lily, little bows in her hair, okay? Well, I had to take Lincoln for a shot, so I was carrying him around PetSmart, cuddled up right here on my chest, and I'm holding him like a baby, okay? And, being 7 pounds, he had to hide his face from people, and they look up and look around, and when I got him from this Amish place out in Indiana, and they kept him in a chicken coop, and he had poop messed into his fur, and he was awful, and he was scared to death of everybody. And it took me a long time to even teach him to play with toys and what toys were, and then to trust people. So holding him and coddling him just became, even Melissa, my ex-daughter-in-law, he's like a baby to you. Because he'd come up and put his paws up for me to pick him up, and I'd roll him on his back and like rub his belly. and then get down. I got videos of talking to him like as a kid, telling me, go chase the boys, and he'd run off and chase the boys. He was such a smart little dog once he got to playing with him. Real sweetie. Well, I'm walking around PetSmart, and I got him right here, and I'm like holding him and stuff, and you know how you pet their little heads. It's like, it's okay, and seeing him about getting him a treat for getting it because he got a shot, and that old guy showed up and that woman, and they were telling people I beat him. And one guy walked up and went, yeah, right, she holds that puppy like a baby. And I got to thinking, he had a girlfriend before we moved up there. Delano Eddie coming up. I think it was him or another man in that church. You think you're better than her dating all those women. I'm so mad. I'm like, right before it starts. I come up and I'm like, Dave, what's going on? He don't know what's going on. Yes, he did. See, I think that's where that's Savannah. I bet, because Pam and Jack were following me around for a while. Okay? And I bet a lot of the cars go up there too. I bet Will went up there and set up that hate crime. Because Dave was dating his daughter, Michelle. After we moved up there, they were the ones in the store that day. When he hit me with the board in the face. And it was them and their drug friends doing this to me. But, yeah. See, Dave had 17 girlfriends in high school. And they all sat around talking one day and all found out they were all dating Dave and he was manipulating 17 women. And they all broke up with him. And that's what he was doing. See, where he was manipulating me to getting treated like a king until he could find the next best thing. And then him and those girls came up with this. See, Keith preached killing Jezebel right before it started. Get rid of your wife, get rid of your children. God will give you new. Takes the priest to kill Jezebel because they have no feelings. Jezebel in the Bible was a crazy bitch. She took brand new babies and offered them to the fire belly god Baal. Was an idol with a big fire in the middle of the belly. And they took brand new babies that were born and threw them in alive screaming. She offered the priest to Jehovah to him. She was a cold-blooded murderer. And like I said, adultery, least of that woman's worries. She's a cold-blooded murderer. So they came up with an idea, get the guys, bring the carts into town, chariots, because it's Stone Age, and we'll push her, the priest will push her out, and then we'll just run over her real quick. They didn't have guns back then, and they couldn't get caught doing it. So it was a fast push. Okay? Looked like she thought doing it. That's why they did it. Because she's a cold-blooded murderer. Not case service of killing off the people you don't want in life anymore. And getting new families. God hates divorce. It's only divorce under adultery. Da 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 da. Kind of thing. I don't believe a woman should stay and be abused either because you're God's child. And if they'll abuse you, they'll kill you. Because I stayed in an abusive relationship. And I got the hell beat out of me. On and off for years. And then he spoiled me and then again. And those kind of men will kill you. But, yeah. People said that they were actually trying to hook Savannah up with him. That's why Pam and Jack, they were following me clear up Dodson. She lives in Canton. They were on the highway with me. They were in Belden. Why would they care? Exactly. What was up there setting up that hate crime? Domestic terrorism. Domestic terrorism is a group of people to further their own beliefs, their own ideology, with threats or harm to human life. Hello? Backed by political or religious backing against the United States constitutional laws. This is domestic terrorism at its finest. This is an oh my God case that should make people's skin crawl. That they have serial rapists, serial killers among them, and drug dealers that are taking small children off They have date rape drugs with amnesia drugs and showing them rain. And everybody knows what's going on, and everybody knows I got raped and tortured. And none of this is funny. I was supposed to be in protective custody. That agent stole every dime from my case. They've talked about it from Pennsylvania to Canton to Alliance to Madison. That it's just him stealing from this case. Him and his drug dealing friends. I have already rambled off everything, and I can ramble off more. But yeah. I'm going to go ahead and upload this. And like I said, I don't know what that guy's up to that I had dinner with. I put him in his place more than once of, try to act like a tough guy. It's like, look, I want them in jail and only in jail, nor would I condone anybody doing anything else or being involved in anything else, nor would I approve of it or put my name on or be around anybody like that. I have nothing to do with anything like that. I'm just trying to get the Department of Justice to arrest them for the crimes they did to me. And then spend 20 years. Nothing else would I tolerate or be around or involved with, nor would I ever approve of. Large men have showed up down here, and everybody's talked about it. They've been in town, they've been in Walmart. I don't know who they are either. And people have been saying the mafia's mad over this, and I thought, why would they care? They ran a major drug scam down here. Who gets the drugs normally? The mafia feeds it down through the drug dealers. They took their profit. There's people from Georgia and North Carolina, Gentleman's Club from Florida, Henry Mafia, people from New York and Michigan, and several people from Georgia. There's a drug shipment down in Georgia right now that's killing people. I hope it's not connected up here to what that agent did. They said he's laughing that nobody's arrested him for his crimes. And they have him dead right. I worked in a bank. I could put your social in, pull up every account you had. So he actually opened that protected light case. And the only thing I could have is the informant program for my witness in this case, my money, diplomatic immunity, medical card, and living expenses. All that other crazy stuff, you can't have it because the sitting judge had to sign it. It has to be straight out witness protection program stuff. He's just scammed everybody with his lies and his foolishness and his deceit and playing everybody for fools for helping out in this. And like they said the other day at Acme, nobody finds any of this funny anymore. Nobody does. When you find out it's the agent out of his area, they called me back. That was so horrible. It's him doing it to run a drug scam for him and his daughter and all the crimes they did to me and sitting back laughing. Nobody stopped them. And then they're even showing their crimes to babies and how sick and low they are. Nobody finds any of this funny. Somebody needs to arrest him. Seriously. He's done federal crimes. I mean, think about that. Have you ever been tortured? It's a level of fear you should never know. They showed it to 5-year-old little girls. They don't understand sex. They don't. They're lucky if they don't have accidents and they're potty trained to go to kindergarten. What kind of sick son of a bitch would show that to a baby? The agent that picked up my case, him and his family. Who would take those little girls out of them and show it to babies? And he did it to more than one. My one client with anger issues last year. Little faces. Will took me out today. Will show. They had come out and say, Will took me out today. Sick, they raped her. He showed it to them. Teenagers. There was an asses beater. And we talk about the rape. There's 3 white guys in that room. And knowing every part of what happened to me. Most of the kids that went out with him were under 12. There's just a few teenagers. And they come out and say stuff to me. Sick son of a bitches. And it's funny that he has date rape drugs, amnesia drugs, and then take those babies out and show them to him. Are they He's like, none of this is funny anymore. Try being me. I was just married to that bastard that was trying to kill me. And it's his girlfriend's family doing this to me and their drug friends. How would you like to be me? How would you like to be me? And I hope and pray to God he didn't hurt those babies. Because if they did rape drugged him, they'll never remember. He's made this case a mockery. He sent back laughing. Nobody's arrested him. He's committed federal crime on top of federal crime on top of federal crime. Laughing. I have friends that are retired sheriffs out of this area. Are your local police slow? They should have arrested that agent and that retired judge on the first day. They can't do any of this. Yeah. And somebody should have got me the hell out of here. They owe me like $300,000. They've been yelling that he's the one that stole the money on the first day. From Alliance to Pennsylvania to North Canton to Massillon. Everybody knows he stole it. And everybody knows that's Michelle's dad, his girlfriend. And he did it in order to steal. And how sick and